Hello, how are you? Today, I'm going to tell you what happens in your body when you eat 2 Brazil nuts every day. Brazil nuts provide many interesting nutrients and a lot of benefits. And by just adding 2 of them a day, we can meet several very important nutrient needs in a way that's very easy to incorporate into your daily routine. So let's talk more about that. Stay with me until the end because you won't want to miss it. If you love tips on nutrition, health, and fitness, you're going to love this channel. So go ahead, subscribe, and remember to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. I post new videos every day, and you're going to love them. If you enjoy these videos where I talk more about the nutrients in foods, the healthiest foods to add to your daily routine to improve your health, go ahead and leave a like, and I'll keep coming back to make more videos like this for you. And let me know down below if there's any of these nuts you'd like to learn more about. Remember, I already have a video here on the channel talking more about peanuts, cashews, walnuts, and so on. So if there's any other nut you want to know about, write it for me down here in the comments and I'll come and make that video for you with great care. Let's start by really talking about the benefits of consuming Brazil nuts. We say 2, and I'll talk more about this quantity issue later, but that's a good average for people to have on a daily basis. And it ends up being a small and very practical amount for you to add to your daily routine and ensure you get some very important nutrients. If Brazil nuts are more expensive in your country, remember that with just 2 nuts a day, you already get all these benefits. This package will last many days and ends up not being that expensive in the end. It may go by other names depending on where you are, but it should be easy to identify. One of its greatest benefits is the amount of selenium naturally present in it. Selenium, we often joke that it's the king of antioxidants because it plays a very important role in our bodies. It even helps regenerate glutathione peroxidase, which is one of the powerful and essential antioxidants that our bodies produce. That's why many people talk about regularly consuming Brazil nuts to bring numerous health benefits. They offer benefits for various aspects of health. So let's start talking more about that. Regarding nutritional information, which many people are concerned about, especially the calorie content. After all, it is a nut. In these 2 Brazil nuts, on average, you'll find 39 calories. Only 0.7 grams of carbohydrates, and out of that amount, 0.5 grams are fiber, so it's very low in carbohydrates. In addition, it also contains a small amount of protein, less than 1 gram, but what it really has in abundance is fat. In these 2 Brazil nuts, we have 4 grams of fat, which isn't a particularly high amount, but it is definitely the nutrient that they are richest in. And this is also very interesting because the fat in Brazil nuts is very healthy. It's rich in monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fatty acids. So it's truly a very nutritious fat, very good for our heart health, for our arteries, and for reducing inflammation in our bodies. I'm going to start talking more about this for you as well, but an interesting detail is that since it contains fiber and fat, you can add it to some meals, especially to small meals, for example, a morning or afternoon snack, and it helps to lower the glycemic index of that meal. So, it's a good option for you to add Brazil nuts to your daily routine. For example, instead of eating just an apple for your morning snack, which sometimes can even make you hungrier because you eat only the apple and something is missing to fill that amount of fiber or healthy fats. Add your Brazil nut at that moment, or chop it up over your yogurt, or add it in some other way as another nutrient. That way, you'll get the satiety that the food already provides, complemented by the healthy fat from the nut. It lowers the glycemic index, which also increases satiety and makes for an interesting meal. It's just a suggestion. It can vary from person to person. One of the main benefits of eating Brazil nuts every day, once again, is related to the significant amount of selenium they naturally contain. So, by eating 2 Brazil nuts a day, you'll more than meet your daily selenium needs. And selenium, once again, acts as a powerful antioxidant for our bodies. And why are antioxidants so important? We know that in our daily lives, we produce free radicals, even just lying down, sleeping, sitting, or working on the computer. We produce free radicals every day, but of course, if you're sick, if you live in a place with a lot of pollution, if you smoke, if you drink a lot of alcohol, or if your diet is poor, you may produce even more free radicals. And free radicals are unstable molecules that, in order to stabilize themselves, attach to other molecules, which can lead to cellular damage and cause chronic health problems in the medium and long term. So, consuming more antioxidants is very important for our health, and Brazil nuts, once again, are a source of this very interesting and powerful antioxidant. Precisely because it has this great antioxidant power, studies have already found that it also has a strong anti-inflammatory effect. We know that there are people who have inflammations in the body, like inflammation in the knee, in the hip, types of inflammation that people notice and feel as pain. But there is also what we call low-grade chronic inflammation, where your body is more inflamed and you are more prone to health problems and have more difficulty losing weight. And having an anti-inflammatory diet can help you neutralize this and improve your health and weight loss in a broader way. And since Brazil nuts help by being a powerful anti-inflammatory, they're also a great addition. Remember that I have a playlist here on the channel talking more about the anti-inflammatory diet, giving lots of great tips, and I'll leave it down below in the description for you. Brazil nuts are also wonderful for the heart, for the arteries, and for the cardiovascular system in general. That's because they contain polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats, as I mentioned before. They contain a significant amount of fiber, especially in proportion to the amount of carbohydrates they have. And they're antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, so it's a really amazing combo for the heart. If you're looking for nutrients that improve your heart and cardiovascular system, adding Brazil nuts could be a good option for you. Remember that I also have a playlist where I talk more about heart and artery health, sharing lots of great tips, and I'll leave it down below in the description as well. Some studies have also found that Brazil nuts can help keep blood sugar levels more stable due to the presence of selenium, as some research has already shown the role of selenium in maintaining ideal plasma and blood glucose levels. But once again, it's also because it's rich in healthy fats and fiber, so it helps lower the glycemic index if you eat it with your meal, just like I mentioned earlier. So for example, if you want to eat a banana, but we know that bananas can cause a big spike in glucose and a subsequent spike in insulin. So if you add chopped Brazil nuts to your banana, you can reduce the glycemic index of that banana and its impact on your blood sugar will be lower. So it can also help control blood sugar. Since we say that Brazil nuts have a very strong antioxidant power, this is especially beneficial for brain tissue, for neurons and the brain, and for the nervous system in a broader sense. We need antioxidants for the brain, for the neurons, and Brazil nuts, because of their selenium content, end up being an excellent food if you're looking for more focus, more concentration, and better brain function. In fact, some studies have already found that people who suffer from Alzheimer's usually have lower levels of selenium in their bodies. And a very interesting study was conducted in which Brazil nuts were given to elderly people. This study found that after some time, there was an improvement in cognitive functions. So, memory improved, concentration improved. So, if you're looking for a food that can improve your brain, Brazil nuts are definitely a good option. Remember that I have a playlist here on the channel, including more content about memory, the brain, and the mind. Tips for keeping your brain healthier. I'll leave it down below in the description for you. Brazil nuts can also have a very interesting relationship with the thyroid. Some studies have already shown that selenium is necessary for the proper production of thyroid hormones. So having a good supply of selenium in your daily routine is important to help prevent any thyroid problems. But other studies have already found that people who already have thyroid issues, especially problems like hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's thyroiditis, people who start eating one Brazil nut a day, perhaps due to the increased selenium levels, since selenium is related to thyroid hormones, are able to experience improvements in symptoms related to feeling cold, which many people often feel, as well as improvements in difficulty losing weight and in the thyroid gland's own function. So, of course, it won't cure a health problem like hypothyroidism. The point of this video isn't that. If you already take thyroid medication, it's important that you continue taking your medicine exactly as prescribed by your doctor and in the correct dosage. But know that Brazil nuts, in a dose of 1 or 2 per day, can help you have a healthier thyroid. Many people get really excited. They love finding out that Brazil nuts have so many benefits, and they want to add them to their daily routine. So they buy a bag of Brazil nuts and eat them like peanuts. So they sit in front of the TV, get distracted, and want to eat the whole bag. This is not recommended in the case of Brazil nuts, because as we've mentioned before, they contain a very significant amount of selenium. So if you're someone who tends to go overboard and eat 1 or 2 bags of Brazil nuts, you could end up experiencing selenium toxicity. Of course, this won't happen if you consume 1, 2, or even 3 per day, a small amount. I'm really talking about people who go overboard and eat a very large amount. So remember that even things that are good, just like everything in life, can be harmful in excess, even healthy things. So we always need to have balance in our diet. I think that's always the key word, the middle path. Not too much, but also not never consuming it. That's why I say 2 per day, because anywhere from 1 to 3, depending on your weight, your height, and the rest of your diet, can be a good amount for you. I'll leave down below the videos I've already recorded talking more about other nuts, seeds, and oil seeds. Because actually, an interesting detail, Brazil nuts are not technically a nut, they're a seed. That's why I mentioned that. But they fall into the oil seed category because of their nutritional composition. So, I'll leave videos down below talking more about other oil seeds. I have videos about peanuts, peanut butter, videos talking more about cashew nuts and about walnuts. And since I mentioned seeds, I'll also leave videos about flaxseed, chia, pumpkin seeds, and sunflower seeds. Videos I already have about these foods that are very nutritious. And if there's any that you're interested in and I haven't made a video about yet, just let me know and I'll be happy to make a video for you. Tell me if you usually eat Brazil nuts in your daily routine, how much you consume, or if you only have them occasionally. I would love to read your comment. Remember to like the video because that really helps me out, and share it with anyone who would enjoy it or who needs it. Let's spread this chain of kindness together. That's what I want here with the channel. See you next time. Bye.